This is Lee Harrison,
This is Pete Sandoval,
and you are watching Stormbringer.
the Austrian heavy Zin. The best.
Terrorizer here in Vienna, back again after how many years? When have you been here the last time?
My last time here, I would think, was be 2006 with Monstrosity.
Yeah. But with Terrorizer, you've never been here, right?
I don't think so, no.
Do you remember when you have been here the last time, playing in Vienna?
Morbid
Who?
Angel?
You.
You mean Morbid Angel? I mean me.
Yeah, Terrorizer and you.
Terrorizer in Vienna? No, it's the first time.
It's the first time, right?
I did play with Morbid Angel a bunch of times.
Yeah.
That's you guys know that.
Yeah.
But with Terrorizer, I believe it's the first time that we do Austria.
Yeah.
Oh, have we done Austria before?
No?
I couldn't remember.
No, because we've only done 2 European tours. This is our second one. The first one was opening for Nile early this year. no?
Last year, no.
Last year,
Yeah.
almost at the same time.
February.
February,
But not in Austria.
March. No, I don't think we play in Austria, right?
Yeah.
No. So first time Terrorizer here. Can't wait to play.
Always the first time after like more than 30 years. I mean, 30 years. It's now this year. It's 30 years for World Downfall record. Did you ever imagine this record gets that popular over the time, like 30 years in the future?
Never. It's something that we just think is phenomenal. It's great, you know what I mean? We're just following along, and that's why we're here, to continue this legacy, and we can push it and we can forward it, and plus we got new music going on with it, mixed up with the World Downfall, you know what I mean? So it's great. I think it's a great new beginning. Yes.
Yeah. With these guys.
Especially with with this killer new album that we just did with Lee and Sam. Absolutely.
So where have you been when World Downfall came out? You remember?
Yeah, I was in Malevolent Creation. Pat from Hellwitch actually gave me an advanced cassette tape of it. And I remember listening to it, and he gave me a couple songs from the Morbid Angel, so that's the first time I heard Pete.
What was the first thoughts you had when you heard it?
That was crazy. Yeah, definitely. It was just even real, you know?
I mean, it even sounds more brutal over the years, I think.
And the cool thing about the Terrorizer album is it has a real natural sound. You know, you can really hear the acoustics of the wood and the drums, and you can hear the room. So that's kind of cool too, you know. Whereas some of the, you know, maybe the Morbid Angel albums and some of the other More Sound albums kind of don't have that. You know, they have a little more.
Yeah, but the World Downfall was recorded at More Sound.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying it has a more natural sound than maybe some of the other albums.
It wasn't overproduced like new albums.
Especially the Horses Zombies, that was a little bit overproduced. The Horses Zombies album. Because I wasn't prepared actually to come back when we did Horses Zombies, and that's why the reason why we didn't do, there were no shows, there were no nothings. Like, come on, you know, we do Horses Zombies with this other lineup, which does not exist now, obviously. And then we don't do anything. So what do people think? What happened to them, right? What do you think? You know what I mean? Like, why don't they tour? But the things that I wasn't prepared to tour because I was still recovering from my back surgery. And I wasn't even thinking about coming back. To be honest with you, I was getting ready to retire. I did the 2012 Horses Zombies album. I barely went through it, and I did it. And then I say, I'm done. You know what I mean? I can't even play these songs live. But at the end of 2013, I met with Lee, and we met at some place, and we started thinking, hey man, let's start jamming some old Terrorizer tunes. I know the songs on the guitar, he playing on the drums, and we started jamming like 5 songs. And then obviously, it turned out like he knew all the album, and that's how the whole beginning 2013, 2014. And I go, wow, I can do Terrorizer because, you know what I mean, it's not like Morbid. I have so much double bass, so much solid double bass, and that's what ruined my back beginning with. So I go, why not, you know what I mean? I'm a 1-foot blaster. That's what Terrorizer is. So therefore, that was a great beginning with Lee Harrison, and then Sam Molina, obviously, completing the team.
But normally he's a drummer too in his band.
Of course, and that's
So he is a very good eye on what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's why I think this is one of the best, teams that I've ever been with. Not just as musicians, as how good they are, but also the personalities are the greatest personalities. You know what I mean? Humble people that don't think that they're the best, that they're so arrogant. Like some other people that think they're, with the devil, we're satanic, we're gonna get you. No. We got this. You know what I mean? I love these guys, and working with these guys, and writing with these guys, and playing live. Oh, everything is working out just fantastic.
So there's lots of good energy right now in the band, right?
Yeah. It's great because, like you said, being both drummers, we can speak the same language, and, it's just easy to because I know what he's doing, he knows what I'm doing. It's great,
So, I always consider Terrorizer as some sort of project, which it was in the beginning. Is it coming? Pieces fall together now, and is it coming that way that Terrorizer starts to get a band now? You have the feeling?
Seems like a band to me. Yeah.
I mean, a band, 2 records in a row with the same lineup band.
We could hope,
Yeah.
Right, exactly, and not wait 6 years either. You probably do it in 2 years, you know what I mean? A 2 years lapse, and not wait 6 years, the second album, Darker Days, and then up to
17 years. Yeah, 17 years.
Yeah, but we're not gonna wait that long, you know what I mean? So.
But there were other reasons because you had to wait 17 years for Darker Days Ahead, right?
That was 17 years?
I think so.
Up to
I think everybody was busy with their
No.
other bands.
Oh, you mean
When it was released. Yeah.
You mean since World Downfall?
Yeah.
Yeah, but from Darker Days Ahead up to Horses Zombies, it's only 6 years.
Yeah.
So from Horses Zombies up to this, it was what, 6 or 7?
6, I think 6 again.
Wow, so we don't want to let another 666, you know what I mean? 6 already, 2 6s. No, we're gonna.
We don't get younger, right?
No, not either. Yeah, of course. Come on, another 6 years, I want to be like, come on.
Oh, the thing is too is that we have a contract for one more album, so we know we got that coming for sure. Plus, we have another live album coming too that just.
It's live in Miami, right?
Just put. That's actually a 7-inch we're doing.
It's a little one.
But we're also working on a live album. We're recording all the shows.
Oh, okay.
And I recorded last tour with Nile. I recorded all those shows, and I'm trying to get a better, trying to make it better and better.
Yeah.
But we kind of already have something if we don't get anything better.
So there's some live stuff coming ahead.
Yeah. So
Watch out for it.
Should be good.
When you go back in the days, Jesse was always a tape trader, and he has his own magazine back then. Now the tape trading business sort of comes back again. People start to make tapes again, like real tapes, instead of for demos. I get like tapes for demos. I have a tape deck, so thank God. But what do you think? Is this all like some kind of vintage thing that comes back, or like the vinyl stuff and everything?
Well, at that time, it was necessary.
Yeah,
During those years, there was no internet, there was no... when was that? Like early, during the 80s, come on, 85, 86, 87. 86, 87 when we started, when we did those demos. And then the tape trading. He had a lot of friends all around the world, you know what I mean? Fanzines and all kinds of friends that he used to trade tapes with. And that's how Terrorizer was starting to become kind of known on the underground, but still in LA, we meant nothing. Because we were not getting signed, no labels were interested in that kind of music. Because back then in 1986, 87, come on, even death metal wasn't really born yet. It was starting to come out. And grindcore like Repulsion, those bands were starting also were very underground music. In other words, we didn't have a future over there in LA.
Yeah.
So all we could do is just do shows there in LA, party, house shows, house parties, pretty much like that's backyard houses we used to throw. They still do in LA, And
That was very basic.
that's all. We couldn't get out of LA, you know what I mean? And that was the main reason why I had to move to Florida to join Morbid Angel in '88, July of '88, because Terrorizer wasn't really doing much back then. And Jesse and Oscar, they thought that Terrorizer wasn't going to go anywhere.
But I think it was Shane Embury of Napalm Death who really got you going back there, right?
He knew, I'm sure they knew each other with Jesse because of the tip trading. So of course Shane liked us a lot in the beginning, and he helped, you know, and they were signed, Napalm, they were signed to Eric.
Yeah.
You know, so he helped us to get signed to Eric at the time.
Yeah, but Morbid Angel was also signed to Eric, right?
Yeah, the first album,
at that time.
The Madness, of course, and that's how it worked out. You know what I mean? The World Downfall. But other than that, Terrorizer, as you said before, was more like a project thing because Jesse had his band. Napalm did. I had my band already, Morbid Angel. So Terrorizer was like, one day we'll get back together.
For me, it was always like a one-off record, you know? Like, okay, they did this record and never again.
Kinda
so
like
then
the
was this.
SOD, kind of like.
Yeah,
SOD or
something like that, because then was like this 17-year gap till the next was released. It sounds, of course, it sounds completely different because the times changed and the styles changed and the record techniques changed. Were you aware of what they were doing over the years, or just did you lose track with all the other people? Like they're still
around town all the time. You know, we would sit around and talk Terrorizer even back in like '93.
Yeah.
94, we'd discuss, you know, I remember with Antar and people like that, we'd ask them questions about old Terrorizer, you know, so we knew who they were, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there some thoughts about, maybe someday we can do something together?
Not quite yet, because Jesse was still alive. There wasn't, you know, there was no real need, you know, if they were going to do Terrorizer, it would be with Jesse, you know, so there wasn't really a need for me to be involved. But, you know, I was definitely a fan of the band, for sure. You know, you can hear it in Monstrosity, you can hear the song Slaves and Masters. I mean, there's other songs too, you can hear that influence, you know, but that's just one example.
So do you know the old guys from the first lineup as well, or?
I've never met Oscar. Of course, David Vincent. I know David.
Yeah. But he filled in on bass, right?
Yeah, and I knew Jesse. Jesse would.
Vincent was really never part of Terrorizer.
He was just filling in on bass, right?
Filling in because he was Morbid Angel always.
Wasn't he kind of the band leader though for the first album? Didn't he kind of pull it all together and make it happen?
Well, in a way, but still he helped. Like as you mentioned, Shane helped us get signed. He kind of helped us, like encouraged us. Come on, let's do it. Let's get together. And then since you guys don't have to fly another guy from LA to play bass, I'll play bass since I like the band. He loved the band as well, and Trey loved the band. David loved the band. So come on, all fell into the right pieces. David to do the bass tracks. He loved the band. He wanted it. He was like, come on. So he filled in, but he never lived in LA. He was never part of the beginning of Terrorizer. Yeah. The beginning was, you know, like Oscar.
Like 4 years before that, right?
And some other guys, you know, like Garvey. He used to play bass. Cosmos, some dude that we used to call Cosmos. Nice guys. They're still living over there in LA, you know. They were the only ones that did bass tracks for us over there. And when he came out to record the album, well, come on, since we did it in Florida, it all makes sense. You know what I mean? We flew both guys, Oscar and Jesse, and then David. He obviously eventually did the bass part.
Was there any jealousy with Trey?
No, I don't know. But Trey mentioned many times when I was in the band in Morbid throughout the years that he would love to do Terrorizer stuff because some of the Morbid shows back in the days, I think Covenant or Domination, I can't remember. Yeah, before this, you know, no, Bless You the Sick Covenant. We did the song Death Shall Rise. Morbid Angel played the song many times in the United States. I don't know if he did it in Europe, but we did it in the United States in several tours. So Trey always wanted to play that kind of thing. But, you know, his band was always Morbid Angel. He was always busy with Morbid Angel. He was so busy that every album took so long to, you know what I mean? like so many years.
Yeah.
Also another band that took forever to write an album.
So you're not. It's not a pity for you that you're not into Morbid Angel anymore. You're just still friends with the guys, or?
No, I don't even speak to them. I'm not enemy. I just don't know. They do their lives. They mind their own lives, and I mind my own. And they don't contact me, and I don't contact them. And that's the way it is.
So you told we talked about this, that the World Downfall record is very natural sounding and really like it's recorded in one go. But it was produced by Scott Burns, right? And it was one of his first bigger albums that he wanted to produce. Is there anything from you, and from you, of course, as well, that you might change on the sound of World Downfall afterwards, or you're totally satisfied with it?
I hate the album the way it came out. I mean, as far as the sound is perfect. Don't get me wrong, the production, the sound, and the songs. Excuse me. But what happened is, like, the night before, I was pretty much sick. I had a fever. I was the kind of sickness. I had a fever, chills, and the next day I had to record the album. So therefore, I even did it in one day. Why did I do it in one day? Because I didn't want to get sicker.
Okay.
I was getting sick, and that's why in some of those songs, you can tell a fluctuation of timing on the blast beats. Like the scan, and then it's not the same speed. You know what I mean?
That makes it more natural.
Yes, but also I could have done it better. It could have been faster, those parts, the way the skanks were. And that's my regret. The only regret that I wasn't my 100%, in my potential. But somehow it came out to be pretty much so more natural, you know what I mean?
What about your thoughts? I thought you were not in the band, of course.
I think all the warts and all, I think that's okay with that album. It's supposed to be,
in your face, right? It was for me back then.
And I think it was 3 days that they recorded, right? I think they did the drums in one day. I think they did the guitars and the vocals and stuff on the second day, and then probably bass too, and maybe some vocals on the third day, and then mixed it on the third day, right? Isn't that kind of how it was?
Something like that. I think it must have been
pretty quick.
3 or 4, at least a week, at least 4 or 5 days. Yeah. All together with the mixing and the mastering.
That's still pretty quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, after you get the drums and everything else, it's much easier to put it together.
Yeah.
Did Jesse record with you?
Yeah, eventually he did play. Yeah, he played guitar when I was doing. That's what I was hearing.
So like one track live, and then he overdubbed the other track, or did he overdub both tracks?
I just cannot tell you that. Because,
Obviously,
that's what I would think. I would think that
he played guitars in time.
Obviously, you two have a lot to talk about in the tour bus. You're playing in El Salvador in February, right? In his former home where he was born. What do you feel about this? What do you feel about this? Have you ever played there?
I've been to Guatemala, but I've never been to El Salvador.
Yeah, I'm excited to go back to my country because I did it with Morbid, but I don't think, it was a show where we had so many problems that at the end, I wasn't so happy. You can see this video, I think, on YouTube where David's on my side, he even holds that flag. But I'm like, believe me, I'm feeling like, I don't want to say the bad word, that DS word. I feel so bad because everything went so wrong in the show. Everything was so late. Everything it was a very tough one for me, to make it happen. Mm-hmm. But you can hear the fans dying there of happiness. And I could have stayed more there and speak to them, but I just didn't give them enough time of myself. This time, I wanna really give them my time, and also perform for them the way I should. You know what I mean? And also I hope the shows, are, they're done professionally, and not with problems like what happened last time with Morbid Angel.
Of course, you will blow them away in Central America, South America, tonight in Vienna, Austria. Say thank you, guys. Now you can go and have a little rest or something. Okay, thank you. Or eat. Yeah.